Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, CaneSport. It's September the 22nd, 2023. I'm Gary Ferman, the publisher of CaneSport.com, joined this morning by our managing editor, Matt Shodell, as we discuss the news of the day, presented today by Caneswear, your destination for all your Canes merchandise needs. Check out their new store, I'm going to say, down the plaza from where their old store used to be at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. It is the largest Canes store ever created. You will absolutely love the new Caneswear. If you haven't been there yet, get there. If you live out of town, go to caneswear.com. You can shop the entire inventory from your home, anywhere you live in the United States. All right, Matt, the news of the day, man. This Temple game is upon us tomorrow afternoon. Personally, I am equally interested in my Philly cheesesteak taste test that I'm going to embark on tomorrow morning on my way to the stadium. But I'm really having a hard time because these recommendations for cheesesteak restaurants are coming from 80 million directions. I mean, how can there be 8 different best places to go for cheesesteak in downtown Philadelphia? Like, I don't understand. People are saying go to Jim's. Well, okay, so I look up where Jim's is. Well, Jim's had a fire. Okay,
that's where I was talking about. That was my favorite place. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. Well, you said go to Jim's. A lot of people said go to Jim's. Jim's had a fire. They are presently closed. So I'm back on Pat and Gino's because it's easy. They're across the street from each other. But then different people have been sending in other recommendations too, and I don't know. I gotta search maps and see is there a third place.
Well, I remember. I have a friend who's actually from Philadelphia, and he swears by D'Alessandro's. So I haven't been there, but he swears by it. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with any of them. They're all on a hoagie. They're all sliced like they've been soaked in butter for 10 years, and you can't go wrong. You put some onions and some cheese whiz on them, and you can't go wrong with that. That's it. You're done. Peppers, onions, cheese whiz. You're done.
So D'Alessandro's Steaks and Hoagies in Philly. Let me.
That's what I'm recommend. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out where that place is here as we're talking. But anyway, Matt. So I'm fired up for the trip, not because I think this is gonna be a phenomenal football game, because I don't.
Oh, you know what? I have been to D'Alessandro's. I remember now. I have been there, but it was during COVID. It was a walk-up window. They had a little indoor seating area, but it's mainly a walk-up window. So you grab it, but it's a little off the beaten track. There's no parking. Everybody, it's in a community, and it's near a park, and everybody goes there, and you can't find a parking spot. So you're gonna be fine unless you have a car. But
I have a car, but I don't.
I remember driving in circles around the block trying to find a spot for 4 circles.
I don't think I'm making it all the way up there.
That place is great.
Yeah. D'Alessandro's is off the list.
Off the beaten track. Yeah.
I'm looking where it is. I got to be back towards main Philly because I'm making my way to Lincoln Financial Field from the Philadelphia Museum of Art, where I am going to run the Rocky Steps. So I'm just I am checking off bucket list items here, Matt. In one weekend, I'm running the Rocky Steps, something I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid. I'm going to go see the room where the Declaration of Independence was signed. And then I am going to go eat at Pat and Gino's. I'm going to get a Philly cheesesteak from each of those 2 places. And I will report back here next week which one I think is better for those of you that go to Philly from time to time. But then there's going to be a football game, Matt. And that's what we are here supposed to be talking about on this show that often delves into the world of nonsense. So I'm going to turn us back in the right direction here. Miami at Temple, I really don't expect this to be much of a football game. I think that Miami is a very focused group right now. I think Mario's got them, really zoned in.
I don't know how to show it.
What the heck is that?
I got. If I text it to you, can you put it on the screen?
What is it?
That's my son eating a D'Alessandro sub. I'm
but I'm not going to D'Alessandro's. No, don't send it to me. I don't
want to see how good it is.
No,
I just sent it to you. I'm gonna send you the Liberty Bell through the window with me holding it. I'm gonna send you some pictures to put up on the screen. People are gonna love it. This is gonna be the highest rated show, lowest rated show of all time.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, let's talk about the game for a minute. I just think they're focused, and I'm expecting this to be a real solid performance on the road. There might be rain. It could be a little bit of a wet track. That'll be a new experience for these guys. Not terrible, because you never know what the weather's going to be like down the road of the season. And I'm expecting Miami to go in there 3:30, take care of business. Now, all around the Canes, there are some very significant games in the ACC taking place. Pitt is hosting North Carolina. People are just dismissing Pittsburgh. I'm going to admit I have not seen Pittsburgh. I have not watched Pittsburgh, but I do know they have one of the top defenses in the country. And I think North Carolina going on the road to Heinz Field, that is going to be a tougher game than people think. Okay. I think Carolina is a 7-point favorite or something like that. I'm expecting that game to be tougher. I think I will be taking Pitt in the sports book when I visit the sports book. I discussed this, you guys can watch the You Bet CaneSport show with Lee Sterling that's on the website. We talked a little bit about this game. Lee said the same thing. He said, take Pittsburgh in that game. So I'm going with my man Lee on that one. But that's one big game. And then Saturday night, there is another big game, and that is Florida State is visiting Clemson. Okay. And these were the two supposed top contenders for the ACC championship going into the season. One of them is going to emerge from this game with a loss. Okay. If Clemson loses, it's their second loss, which probably close to eliminates them. I wouldn't say it would totally eliminate them yet from the ACC championship game, but it would be pretty close to eliminating them from the ACC. I think there's going to be several teams in the ACC with 1 to 2 losses this year. Miami, hopefully one of them. And I think if you have 2 losses early in the season, you're in big trouble. If you're Clemson, you still got to come to Miami. And I don't, I guess I'm trying to think what other games they still have on their schedule. I can't remember the Clemson schedule, but the point I'm making is this is a big game on Saturday night between Florida State and Clemson, a Florida State team that didn't look so great against Boston College, against the reeling Clemson team. Very, very interested to see which way that one comes out, Matt. But so while Miami is hopefully taking care of business Saturday, the ACC race is going to be taking some shape. And Matt, I think you put it all together as I go to look for your pictures that I will, while you're talking, get ready to go up on the screen. I think when you put it all together, that this is the 2023 football season starting to take shape.
Yeah, I mean, look, the season's still young, right? But I'm actually very excited for the FSU Clemson game and all the other games except for Miami. The only thing I'm nervous about with the Miami game is that it's over early enough for me to go get some dinner after I finish my work. There's no nervousness for me with this game whatsoever. Temple's not good. And by the way, since you're not paying attention, I'll tell you one other place to go when I'm
paying attention, but you texted me the pictures instead of emailing.
One other place you should really go, and this is not for a cheesesteak, but if you have a chance, go to the Reading Terminal Market and go to Beeler's and get the apple fritters. And there's going to be a line like around the corner, but they literally pull the fritters out of like a giant vat of boiling oil and hand it to you. And these apple fritters are they're insane. I think I got 10 of them. And
now you're telling me
them all over 2 days. They're unbelievable. The apple fritters there are unbelievable. So I highly recommend that.
I'm supposed to go to the Reading Terminal Market.
Yeah, and get the apple fritters at Beeler's. But yeah, that'll be more of a highlight than going to the Temple game, that's for sure. And just be prepared for a pretty big line. But the line goes fast. But yeah, like we Azubi and I had a miscommunication. We both did 5 keys to the game simultaneously, not knowing the other one was doing it for the Temple game. And they're all pretty much the same. They're just like sort of nonsensical, like special teams should be better. It's going to be rainy out. So like, don't get hurt, run the ball. It's just so this game is just so basic. And it's going to be an easy Miami win. I think Miami's favored by 24. And that's a pretty big line on the road. But I mean, that's how bad Temple is, and maybe a sign of how good Miami is. We'll see. because you do want to see Miami continue to just play well. Like, that's the bottom line. They're not going to lose the game, but you want to see them play well, not do dumb things, not have breakdowns even once or twice on defense, especially in bad weather. There's no reason that, Lance Guidry's defense is built for bad weather, right? Because the only concern you're going to have is when he pulls the safeties into the box and you got the cornerbacks on the receivers one-on-one down the field. And in rain, it's a little less likely that they'll be able to really throw the ball pinpoint accuracy deep down the field. So, I think Temple's going to really struggle to get points. I think, if anything, the weather benefits Miami because Miami's stronger on both sides of the offensive line and defensive line, has a better running game. Like, everything that's predicated that does better in the rain is to Miami's advantage. So I'm all for the rain. Let it rain every game from here on out, as long as I'm in the press box.
All right. Do me a favor. While I'm taking care of your pictures, text me Reading Terminal Market. I just looked it up. Okay. I can fit it into my itinerary. It's going to replace Jim's. I'm going to go get your damn apple fritters. Okay.
Just nice. So it's in the morning. It's not the same as you go in the morning. You don't go in the afternoon.
No, it'll be morning. It'll be like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
11:30 in the morning.
All right. I'll text you a link.
I will go to Reading Terminal Market before I go get cheesesteak, and I will check out your fritters.
All right. Yeah. 1136 Arch Street.
All right, just text. Just.
I'm gonna text you the link. All right, I'll tell you. I'm gonna take a picture of the site, the phone number, and you can figure it out from there. I have faith in you.
All right. If anybody else has anywhere they want me to go in Philadelphia, the email is CaneSport@yahoo.com. Okay, I will be.
You better take a lot of pictures for the Monday Good Morning CaneSport to show everybody you actually went to these places, aren't faking it.
No, I'm gonna have to get up at 6 in.the morning just to make sure I can cover all these destinations.
Well, the market doesn't open until 8, but sure, get up at 6, whatever.
But yeah, CaneSport@yahoo.com. Feel free to send me any other recommendations anybody has. The agenda is getting quite packed because there's a Phillies baseball game in Philadelphia at the same time as the Miami Temple game. And they're at the same sports complex in Philly. For some unknown reason, they put all their sports facilities in one place. Their football stadium, their arena, and their baseball stadium are all in the same location in Philly. So they have a Phillies game at the same time as the Miami game. So from what I understand, the traffic is going to get absolutely ridiculous there on Saturday. So I got to get there early. So I can't promise I'll be able to go everywhere, but I will try to fit your recommendations into my itinerary so I can report back on Monday morning. All right, Matt, we've got some other things to talk about that are on the website today. I mentioned the UBET CaneSport show with Lee Sterling. We break down the Miami Temple game and other top college contests this weekend. Make sure you guys check that out. We also have an update with linebacker Corey Flagg heading into the game. Matt, Corey Flagg to me is one of the more interesting members of this football team because every year, we come into this thing and everybody wants to replace Corey Flagg. He's probably I'm not going to say he's the least respected Miami Hurricane. That would not be fair. But he is the guy that every year people think that they want to replace because of the perception of Corey Flagg. He's not flashy. Doesn't make an enormous number of game-shaping plays, memorable plays. I can't think back to last season and tell you one memorable Corey Flagg play, but he's just out there and he knows what he's supposed to do, and they can count on him to perform to the best of his abilities, allow him to perform. And every year, all these guys take shots at unseating him, and they can't do it. He's just always survives these competitions. Your thoughts on Corey Flagg?
Yeah, he's a solid player. Yeah, exactly. He's not flashy, but he's solid. I mean, I just pulled up the Pro Football Focus grades, which, look, they're not perfect, but they give you an idea. And he's for the season, he's at 71.7%. So for guys with 60 or more reps, if I do some quick math here, he's 7th best on the team. And someone demanded an apology. Said I was bashing KJ Cloyd yesterday. I wasn't bashing him. I said he was a backup at Louisville who beat out Wesley Bissainthe, and that's the truth.
Why do they always use the word bashing? Like every time
they're saying, well, he had NFL guys ahead of him, et cetera, et cetera. And listen, I'm a fan of KJ Cloyd. Okay, he's big, he's fast, he's strong, but he's for players with 60 or more reps, he's the worst on the team right now. I mean, that's Pro Football Focus. That's not me bashing him. That's Pro Football Focus apparently bashing him based on what he actually does in the field. His grade is a very poor 53.9. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. And Bassance is worse, but he just hasn't played 60 reps. So Bassance had 53.0. So they're both just they're two of the four worst, and the other two guys are Brian Ballum, who's played 22 reps, and Malik Bryant, who's played 12. So, Bassance and Cloyd are neck and neck in Pro Football Focus for being the worst on the defense right now, grade-wise. And the coaches say they're neck and neck for starting. And maybe they both go hand in hand. Maybe neither of them have really stepped up the way they can, because certainly the potential's there for Bassance to be amazing and for Cloyd to be amazing. They just haven't really shown it yet. So, that's not bashing him. Those are facts. This isn't my opinion. That's Pro Football Focus. He was a backup for 3 years at Louisville. That's not me making that up. He was. Like, it is what it is. Does he run fast? Is he really, really strong for his size? Yes. Has he done it on the field yet? No. Can he do it on the field in the future? Yes. Like, those are just facts. Okay. But Flag, none of these linebackers to me, other than, and Francisco Mamagoa has not been amazing, but he's been a plus. He's better than anything we saw at linebacker last year for sure. But outside of Francisco Mamagoa, these are just guys to me. Like, these aren't championship level linebackers. That's my opinion. That's not a fact. Okay.
Well, and even Francisco has not been as good as we've expected him to be.
But he's been a plus. He's still been better than what we had last year. Okay. He's taking good angles. He's being physical at the point of attack. He's doing stuff we didn't see from the linebackers who were just awful last year. And is Corey Flagg that much better than last year? No, but he was average last year. He's average this year, and average is okay. It's okay to be an average linebacker. It's better than being below average. Like, people think to say he's average, you're bashing him. Like, average just means you're middle of the pack. Corey Flagg's a middle of the pack on this defense linebacker. Like, that is what it is, in my opinion. I'm not going to say he's great, but he's not terrible. He's good enough. He can get reps. He can contribute. Is he going to run down a 4-4 guy taking a great angle in the open field? No. Is he going to squeeze through a tiny gap and make an explosive play for a loss of 3 yards on a really, really good running back? No. But is he going to make the right play, be in the right place, help set the defense up correctly? Yes.
First of all, I want to know, why do people use the word bashing? I mean, I
like the word bashing. I like that word.
Like, we give honest opinions. That's our job. We give honest opinions. We're not here to say every single of the 85 scholarship players are going to be All-Americans and first-round draft picks.
Oh, wow. I just looked up the opposite of bash. You know what the opposite of bash is? The antonym? It says here ferminate. Ferminate is the opposite of bash. I didn't even know that. That's new for me. Huh. Learn something new.
Well, we're not ferminating. We're not bashing. We are just giving honest evaluation and opinions based on our eyes. And we've been doing this a long time. And I hope that our opinions are usually good. They're not going to be 100% right all the time. I mean, we're
speak for yourself, Ferminator.
Yeah, you're. Yeah, that's true. I should speak for myself. My opinions are not going to be right every single time. But I do the best I can.
I will concur with your opinion on yourself. I agree.
Anyway, stop bashing people, Shodell. Anyway, we're never bashing. But Corey Flagg, to me, is just a solid player. Nothing flashy, but they can't unseat him. And this is now the second year in a row that we've seen this. I mean,
he's not starting. Let's be clear. He's not starting, but he's giving good reps as a backup.
Yeah, he's getting plenty of playing time. I haven't seen any of the freshmen unseat him yet. They brought in some pretty highly touted freshmen.
Yeah, those freshmen aren't ready yet. That was clear against Bethune. I mean, they're just not ready yet. But they'll be. Those guys physically are just off the charts. When you're recruiting a guy, you're not recruiting him expecting him to pick up the defense from day one, especially at a position like linebacker where you have to know everything. And be an impact player. Yes. Did Shaq Quarterman, Mike Pinkney, and Zach McLeod do it as freshmen? Yes, out of necessity. Were they good that year? They were actually pretty good, but Manny Diaz kept it simple for them. This is a more complex defense where the linebackers are blitzing, dropping in coverage. They're doing everything. It's not that easy for a freshman, and you could see they were a little bit lost at times, in that game against Bethune when they did put them in. But in terms of physical ability, once they understand what they're supposed to do, and once they spend this year, in the weight room getting even bigger, faster, and stronger in another offseason, like, those guys are going to be what you want. We haven't seen linebackers like this maybe since even before Shaq, Mike, and Zach. This is going to be a really, really special group of freshman linebackers as they move forward in their careers. They're just not there yet.
All right. Coming up with keys to this game was such a challenge that we had two of our staffers work on it at the same time. How about that? So you're going to get a good keys to the game here this week. Matt, I admittedly have not looked at that story yet.
I would highly recommend nobody look at it. Don't read that story, people. Do not read it.
I'm not speaking from a position of knowledge, but I want you to explain to me how the collective minds of Azubi and yourself were able to come up with keys to what to me is a very lopsided game.
Yeah. I think the psychology of the fan is when you tell someone not to read something, they're more likely to read it. So I would encourage everybody to never read any story on CaneSport. Do not read any of our stories. They're terrible. You're not going to want to read any of them. No, but this story in particular, I looked at Azubi's keys, and I'll tell the truth. I only used one of them because I'm a homer. He had one in there like "don't get hurt," like "stay healthy in the rain" type of thing. Which I'll give you guys some of Azubi's.
I would say that's a key whether you used it or not.
Look, these are the outtakes. Oh, you know what? I already deleted his item. I deleted it. It's gone. But I remember that one in particular because I'm like,
that's what it goes on. Like every for having you have seniority on him.
Well, exactly. If you have a key that can be for every single game, that's not really a key to this game, right? And every game you don't want injuries. And I understand it's raining out, but for me that's every game. The key is every game: score points, don't get hurt, play consistently on offensive defense, don't get penalties.
Season. He's new at this. He doesn't have the same perspective that you have.
No, he did listen. Am I Fermanating him? No, he did a good job.
You Fermanated his keys.
No, I'm not Fermanating his keys. I did delete his keys, yeah, but Fermanating is now not an antonym, it's synonymous with bashing. So I'm not Fermanating Azubi. He did a great job for a freshman reporter. But I am a 9th year redshirt senior applying for his 10th year reporter, and I get to decide which keys are the real keys. And so, by the way, with Cam McCormick, okay, I was thinking about this the other day. So Cam McCormick obviously has parents, and you know how parents are. Like, we're parents. People are like, oh, how are your kids doing? Did they graduate college or whatever? They usually ask that after 4 or 5 years. And where are they now? What are they doing? And so, I could just imagine like Cam's mom or dad or whatever, just running into somebody they haven't seen in 5 or 6 years in a market, and like, oh my gosh, so nice to see you, Mrs. McCormick. How's Cam doing? What's he doing for work nowadays? And he's still in college, ma'am. That's nice. What happened? Did he work in between? Was he traveling abroad? Did he go on a Mormon mission? No, it's his 8th year in college. He's just still just taking classes and going about his business. Okay, nice seeing you, Mrs. McCormick. Like, I picture this conversation. That's how and let me tell you, if I was Mrs. McCormick or Mr. McCormick, I would play it up. I would be like, just asking people about their kids just so they'd ask me about my kid. I'd be like, oh yeah, my son's he's in his 8th year of undergraduate. We're hoping he gets a degree when he's done, and he's trying to get an extra year to take some more classes, and we're just very hopeful he gets his college degree. I'd just play it up. That's what I would do. That's how I roll. I like looking, me, I like looking at the negative. People ask how my kids are doing. I'm like, they're doing awful. I'll look at whatever they're doing terrible, and I'll point those out. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, my kid's so great. Look at my Facebook page. Look at all the wonderful things in my life. No, terrible things.
What are you talking about? You're such a hypocrite. You just sent me a picture, and I might as well throw it up there, of your kid eating a Philly cheesesteak, and you're telling me that you don't brag on your kids, that you don't tell people your kids are so great. You sent me a picture to put up on the screen of him taking a pretty big bite of a
Philly that's unhealthy what he's doing. Yeah.
You didn't teach him to eat in small bites?
I would eat it in small bites personally. I highly recommend eating in small bites. But I mean, this was the most messy thing in the world. So thank God we had a rental car. I swear, I don't remember, but I think they charged us a cleanup fee for the rental car afterwards.
Did he do the cheese whiz or the provolone?
He did. I think he did cheese whiz. This was during COVID. I don't even remember anymore. But I know that when he saw it, he's like, wow, this is a pretty big. This is a pretty big. I call them subs, but I think they call them hoagies over there, or grinders, or whatever, whatever they call them. But yeah, and I think this would be successful. A new Facebook website, okay, where you can only post negative things. Because Facebook right now, everyone's like, look, my son graduated. Oh, look how wonderful my life is. I just went to Italy or whatever. I got a D'Alessandro sub. Look at my picture of my son eating his sub. I want a Facebook page where it's the terrible stuff. I fell down the stairs today. I'm in the hospital, or my son failed out of whatever, or is not getting his diploma. Because honestly, the more good stuff people see, the more annoying it is, and the more upset and depressed people get. Like, why are their lives so great? A really negative site will make people feel a lot better about their own lives. There's a reason that I think they say depression and suicides go up during the holidays, because everyone else is having such a great time, and I'm, my normal miserable life, which we all are. We all have normal miserable lives, right? Admit it, it's true. All of you watching, okay? You're not so amazing. There's miserable, terrible stuff in your life, just like mine, just like in Gary's, just like in Azubi's and Stevens. Anyway, Mario's. Everybody's got bad stuff. I want a website where you put all the bad stuff.
Speaking of Mario, I hope everybody had a chance. If you didn't see the Lamar Thomas show on Wednesday night, I clipped a bunch of it and put it in individual clips on our Twitter. You also can obviously watch the show on demand on our different channels and stuff. And the segment with Mario, we had Mario on for about 30 minutes, was really great. So make sure you guys, if you have time, if you haven't had time yet, make sure you check that out. It was really good viewing. Okay, and then just to finish putting this Temple game, at least the pregame build-up to the Temple game, to bed, we also have a story on what they're saying on the other sideline about the Miami game coming up. So make sure you check that out. All right, a couple recruiting things still to talk about, but I got to take a moment, guys, and talk about CaneSport, because we are now in the full swing of football season, and CaneSport and Davie, they've opened up that massive new store at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and it's just sitting there screaming for you guys to come by and visit and check out their merchandise. They've got T-shirts, jerseys, polos, hoodies, hats, flags, decals, magnets, every single type of Canes item that you could possibly want, you can find at CaneSport. And they also have men's, women's, kids sizes. They have stuff for babies. And you know what? They'll even dress your dog for you. They got pet merchandise as well at CaneSport. If you want to tailgate next time you go to Hard Rock Stadium, they'll even outfit you with some tables and chairs and things that'll make your tailgate very, very special. If you're a fan of the other teams in South Florida, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Marlins, Inter Miami, Messi, you guys can get some gear for those teams as well. So CaneSport is more than a store. It is absolutely an experience. And in that new expanded location, they have more Cane stuff than you've ever seen in your life at one spot. So go check them out at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. If you're familiar with La Spada, it's right next to La Spada Subs. But somebody yelled at me, yes, it was Lamar this week. He's like, why are you always talking about La Spada? Does La Spada have a marketing deal with us? Can I go there and get a free sandwich? I said, no, Lamar. I just happen to mention it as a landmark. But you're right, Lamar. I should stop talking about La Spada. So I'm going to stop mentioning La Spada, because we do not have a marketing deal with La Spada, and I'm sending people to La Spada. But anyway, CaneSport is there. They can try to push themselves and saying they're next to CaneSport. 2655 South University Drive in Davie. And they are always open on the internet at canesware.com. So visit that store, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or go to canesware.com to get all of your Canes merchandise this season. All right. Let me touch on a few recruiting type things. Miami Central and Chaminade squared off last night at Traz Palace Stadium. We have coverage of that. Make sure you check that out. Zuby and Steven were on the case at Traz. We also have a story today on West Palm Beach Cardinal Newman, 2025 four-star receiver, Nashawn Montgomery. He's got a big interest in Miami, so we update him. We also update Miami Central 2025 four-star defensive back, Amari Wallace. He has proved himself to be one of the fastest rising defensive back prospects in all of the 305. The Hurricane coaching staff has noticed They're not missing anything going on at Central. Trust me. It's funny, Matt. We've gone from Randy Shannon being head coach, who would not recruit anybody from Central. He didn't like the culture at the school. There were a lot of different reasons that he would not recruit at Central. Central's come full circle. They're now one of the top high school programs in the country, year after year after year. Miami recruits everybody from Central. So, mad applause to the folks over at Miami Central. You guys are doing great stuff, and your football program is second to none, and your kids are getting scholarships to Miami, and it's just win, 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 win on top of win. So we got a story on Amari Wallace, the latest Central player to start emerging. And then we also update Palm Beach Gardens Benjamin School 2026 linebacker Adam Baglone Ali. That is quite a name that we're going to have to be trying to pronounce for the next few years. But Mario Cristobal visited his school recently when he was on his tour of South Florida. Mario just gets in his car. He says, I don't need anybody to come with me. And he just hits the road and just bounces from high school to high school in one day. And he spent probably about 14 hours on the road recruiting. His final destination last Friday was the American Heritage Chaminade game last Friday. And he just visited a bunch of high schools and renewed acquaintances and said hello to people. And it was a great day for Mario. And so one of those was apparently the Benjamin School, where that linebacker Adam Baglone Ali ultimately got an offer. So congrats to Adam, and Mario, keep hitting the pavement in South Florida. That's when you are most effective. All right. If you like this show, if you're watching on YouTube right now, hit your subscribe button, hit your like button. We have two different ways that we distribute this show now. We have it, still put it on YouTube, and it's also on our site. We use a player called the JW Player that's integrated into our system. And somebody sends me a note the other morning saying that I keep saying hit your subscribe button, hit your like button, but that there's no subscribe or like button on the JW Player that's embedded into our site. And they're right, there's not. So I got to qualify it. If you're watching on YouTube, hit your subscribe button, hit your like button. It helps us with the algorithms and growing our audience on YouTube. If you are not yet a subscriber to CaneSport.com, we need you to become one. Your subscriptions allow us to do everything that you see us do every single day. We've been expanding our staff. We're doing everything we can do to make your fan experience the best that it can be. We need your support. So if you're not yet a subscriber to CaneSport.com, it's only like $8 a month. Come on over and be a subscriber and join our community of fans. All right, Matt, this is the grand finale, man. Before we go and let everybody go to work, I have not looked at this picture, folks. This is the second picture that Matt sent me that I absolutely had to get on today's show. I stopped everything I was doing. I lost my focus to get Matt's pictures loaded.
I don't remember what I sent you now.
Well, here it comes, man.
Oh yeah, that's me holding the Liberty Bell.
Oh, okay.
That's why you don't wait in the line. You just walk around the corner and you put the Liberty Bell in the palm of your hand. You take a picture.
I based on my growing itinerary for Saturday morning, I'm guessing that's exactly what I will do. Especially seeing the picture. I think I've seen enough of the Liberty Bell, quite frankly. It's just a big bell. I love the historical.
It's a pretty important bell.
I know, and I love the historical significance. But I am not going to wait in a 30-minute line when I've got so many cheesesteaks and apple fritters and things like that I have to go sample in Philly on Saturday morning. So anyway, so that's going to do it for Good Morning CaneSport today. Thank you so much for starting out your day with us today and putting up with Matt. We will be back on Monday morning to talk about this big Temple game that I hope is the walk in the park that I expect it to be. And we will have a better idea of how the ACC race is taking shape because of those big games I was talking about this weekend. So have a great weekend. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you next time, everybody.